The NBA offseason is heating up, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, the two-time MVP and reigning Finals MVP, finds himself at the center of an intriguing question. What happens if the Greek Freak demands a trade? If Giannis decides he wants out of Milwaukee, speculation about his next team is already rampant. The usual suspects, Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks, and Los Angeles Lakers, are all expected to be in the mix. But here's the thing, this is Giannis we're talking about. A player of his caliber doesn't get moved without some surprise suitors entering the fray. As Mark Stein recently noted in his rumor roundup, teams are quietly preparing to throw their hat into the ring if the Bucks entertain trade discussions. We might see some dark horses emerge as serious contenders for the superstar. So, which teams could make a shocking push for Giannis? Let's break it down. The Detroit Pistons have a promising young core, but instead of continuing their patient rebuild, what if they made a bold, aggressive move for Giannis Antetokounmpo? After a 44-win season and an intense first-round playoff battle with the Knicks, the Pistons might not seem like immediate contenders, but this kind of move could catapult them into that conversation. Pairing Giannis with Cade Cunningham creates an elite 1-2 punch, Cunningham as the dynamic playmaker and Giannis as the franchise cornerstone. With Isaiah Stewart as a potential center and young talents like Jaden Ivey, Osar Thompson, Jalen Duren, and Ron Holland II, Detroit has the foundation to make a trade package that could lure the Bucks. Not to mention, the Pistons control their future first-round picks, and none of their contracts are particularly burdensome. This flexibility makes them a sneaky team that could make a strong pitch. The Pistons may not yet be ready to compete for a title, but adding Giannis to their roster would make them an immediate force in the Eastern Conference, and maybe even the entire league. Detroit has enough young talent to make an enticing offer, but they'll have to get creative to make the financials work. Memphis Grizzlies, a shockingly dangerous option. The Memphis Grizzlies may be another unexpected player in the Giannis sweepstakes. While the Grizzlies have Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. as their foundational stars, adding Giannis to the mix could take their team to an entirely new level. Morant's playmaking and Jackson's defense, combined with Giannis's versatility, could form an unstoppable trio. What makes Memphis intriguing is their combination of young talent and future draft picks. The Grizzlies have players like Desmond Bane and Zaire Williams who could be included in a trade package along with several first-round picks in the years to come. However, they might have to get creative with salary matching, especially since the Bucks would likely want a future centerpiece in return. But even without the traditional superstar trade assets, a Giannis, Morant, Jackson trio would be a terrifying prospect for the Western Conference. The Blazers have young, intriguing pieces like Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson, plus a collection of future draft picks. Portland can offer Milwaukee control of its own first-round picks through 2030, which gives the Bucks a significant asset. The Blazers wouldn't have to completely gut their team either. They can offer a mix of talent while still keeping some of their core intact. Toronto Raptors, the dark horse. With a potential star, Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri is no stranger to bold moves, and he's had his eye on Giannis for quite some time. With the number 9th pick in this year's draft, the Raptors could build a strong package around their picks, along with some of their rising stars like Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick, or Ochai Agbaji. If Ujiri is willing to part with Barnes, a potential franchise player, the Raptors could make a strong pitch for Giannis. However, there's a massive question to answer here. Would the Raptors be willing to trade Barnes? If so, they could easily craft a package that challenges the other teams on this list. With Ujiri's track record of landing star players and making unconventional moves, the Raptors should not be counted out as a potential dark horse in the Giannis sweepstakes. The bottom line, while the usual suspects will undoubtedly be in the conversation for Giannis Antetokounmpo, don't be surprised if a dark horse team swoops in to make a bold play for the superstar. The Pistons, Grizzlies, 76ers, Blazers, and Raptors all have the assets, ambition, and creativity to shake things up in a major way. If Giannis hits the market, the NBA offseason will get a whole lot more interesting, and these teams may be the ones that make the biggest splash.